because it was just so wet. If you watch Millennial Farmer, okay, he's a couple of states over from us, but he had tornadoes go through and tear up, I think it was 2 of his grain bins, and he's got his workshop shed, which is kind of concrete floor and lights and air conditioning, and then he's got his equipment shed where he stores stuff that's not not being used right now. So things like his harvester were in the shed because he wasn't, he'd finished harvesting, so he'd put that in the shed, and he hadn't quite got the seeder out because it wasn't time to start seeding, but he was planning on doing that. Tornado comes through, tears that shed up and damages a lot of his equipment. But even without that, he had to wait a few weeks before he could get out and cultivate the ground. And again, he was saying he didn't start planting this year until a week after he'd finished planting in last year. So year on year, he had completed his planting sort of beginning of June, I think it was, and he didn't start planting until the second week in June this year. Might have been the month before June, May. But that's how bad it's been this year in the US. Another farmer I watch, they planted soybeans. They're from sort of some of the more south, and they planted soybeans, and it was so dry for the weeks following that planting. The soybeans died out, so they had to replant them. So their soybeans were planted late, and so it's cost them double what it would normally cost them to plant soybeans for the year, which is a bit sad. So it's really situational. It depends where you live as to how the weather has been. But here in Michigan, people were planting pretty late. Couple of farms between where we live and where our church is, which is about 20 miles away, along the side of the highway, they have gullies of topsoil washed out because of the storms that came through here just before planting season. And we've actually got a friend who's a farmer. He's beef cattle, but he does do summer arable crops. He was saying he knows one of the guys who runs one of those farms, and the guy could stand in the washed out gully and not see over the edge of it, and that causes a huge problem for both seeding and harvesting because he's now got to drive around it. And it is what it is, but it's not a good deal. And fortunately, most of the farmers I know of or know had all planned ahead, so the increased cost of fertilizer this year hasn't affected them because it was all bought and paid for last year. So that's a good thing for them. The problem is the cost of diesel has pretty much increased by 2.5 times. So they're paying 2.5 times more to run their tractors. They'll be running 2.5 times more to run their harvesters. And so that's going to adversely impact the cost of produce next year. but we're kind of okay for now. But as I said, that's farmers who plan ahead, and they know what they're going to be doing next year. They have it all planned out. The seeds purchased, the fertilizers purchased, and all they need to do is take delivery and go. But next year, who knows? It's not going to be a good thing, I don't think. But yeah, I've been aware, Britain has had wildfires through some of their farmlands that I've seen pictures of. Which is generally a bad thing. I mean, it's the sort of thing you don't expect in the UK. You kind of expect somewhere in the US, not necessarily the same places every year. Okay, I want to try and... This is awkward. Let's run round again. There we go. So we might get one more straw bale. And unfortunately, I don't have my forks on me, so... Oops. Oh. Go on, roll, yes. I was saying earlier, for the most part, bales in Farm Simulator 22 are fairly well behaved. But every so often, if you nudge one just enough, it'll go walkabouts on you. Okay. Actually manage both of them on that swing by. A little bit of straw there, not going to worry about that. And we are close to 11,000, so... Boop, there we go. But yeah, we had so much rain at the beginning of the season. And actually, I don't think we're going to get any more. I don't even think it's going to be significantly filled up. So we'll do a quick bale check at the end of this run. Alrighty, lift the pickup, turn it off, and status, stats, stuff, numbers. Words and numbers. We have produced 23 bales. But that's 11,000 litres each, so 23 times 11 is 253,000 litres of straw. That's kind of fun. But just think, if we were playing Farm Sim 19 or 17, that would be 23, somewhere in the region of 55 to 60 bales, I would guess. That's a lot of bales to pick up. That's kind of why I prefer bale collectors to stacking. and I haven't been so concerned about bale collectors in Farm Sim 22 so far. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of bales over there. And I bought them off the fields 2 at a time, but we're only driving across the yard. Oh. And this bale trailer probably needs a service. I'm sure the brakes need looked at. Okay, spike. Which one's the spike? That one, I think. Yeah. Oh, idiot. Select the tractor. Yeah. Now there is an issue with this trailer and using the front loader arms. If the trailer's not attached, I can use the front loader arms without a problem. No matter what other piece of equipment is connected. But when this trailer is connected to the tractor, I have to select the loader arms themselves. I can't select the loader arm attachment. I can't select the tractor. But you'll see the arms are currently selected, and yeah, we go up, we go down. Let's find a flat piece of field here. Actually, I don't think there is a flat piece of field here. But if I now select the trailer and try and move the arms, they're not moving at all. If I detach the trailer, and now the arms move. There is some interference that trailer causes with front loader arms. Alrighty, let's get these things killed. Time for some good old stabbing. And actually want to load the bales from the front on this one because the hitch has a support, and putting stuff on the back is kind of difficult. And that so much easier than the in-game spike. If I had a second tractor, I could hitch it, or I could hitch something to the bale trailer to provide it with a little bit of stability, which it doesn't have freestanding. Lovely. That's going to be the other interesting thing we may have to contend with here. Don't know how heavy straw is. This tractor can haul, whoa, I missed that one completely. At least 130,000 litres of both hay and silage. which some of the hills on this map, you can't do that with 200 horsepower. But we have a lot of hay here, and these hay bales are possibly quite heavy. I don't know. I suppose we could get out and check one. So all it's telling me is, hey, you just stabbed 11,000 litres of straw. Might even tell me. 460 kilos. Wonder how heavy silage is. This is, well, I said we got, was it 23 bales here, so this is going to be about, oh, that's horrible. It's definitely going to be 2 trailer loads. Whether they're full trailers or partials, I don't know, but not going to be able to get all 23 in one go. I mean, pushing it with bales of this size, pushing it, we could probably get 18 on the bale trailer. Maybe 20 if we don't mind the top row hanging off the back of it. But typically the limit's 18, although a lot of the time with the tractor I've got, you're probably not going to get much more than a single width row on the top row, and that's 4 bales, 10 on the bottom. If I cut smaller bales, then we could get more bales, more physical bales, probably less volume. To approach both of these from the bottom. And I haven't turned the lights on the tractor off because they're actually assisting with me lining up on the bale. Obviously the easiest way to do things is from straight on. However, you kind of need a little bit of depth of image, so working from the side gives you depth. Or not. But the lights are giving me a little bit of guidance here. Okay, let's grab one from up there. this bit is always a question of have I left myself with enough space at the end of the trailer for another pair of bales? And with the in-game bales, that was really difficult because you tend to stab them offset. Because this is a single spike, it's in the middle, so actually much easier to line up and stab. If I thought about it, I could have put a hitch on. I think the bale trailer supports a second hitch, so you can haul two trailers at the same time. I didn't pay extra for it, but if I thought about it, it would allow me to attach the grain cart on the back of this, take it all back to the farm at the same time. Let's get that one. Stab again. So yeah, I didn't pack them close enough together at the front, so the back bales are a little bit off, but not quite as bad as they would have been had I been using the in-game fork. And for evidence of that, go watch previous videos where we've been doing this. And, ooh, lift. And therein you see the problem with there. That's settled just right. But the back of the trailer is a little bit unbalanced. I'll leave that undone. So I figure I would probably grab 4 more and dump these straight into the cowshed. See how many disappear. Gonna need, what are we gonna need? We're gonna need a straw blower. And I think there is a Vermeer straw blower included in the pack. Unfortunately, that's 2 weeks away, and I might need one a little bit sooner than that. I don't think I need one that's too expensive. Okay. Especially not considering the size of bales we've got. We can just get away with a single round bale shredder. So I think those two on the right will probably fit quite nicely here. I do remember back on Law Folds in Farm Sim 17, I got so proficient loading loading bales into the digester that I pretty much did it all on headlights. And how, you know, as you get closer to something, the the shadow on the outside of the beam gets narrower and narrower, and I can just place a front loader right up against the digester without actually hitting it. Empty the bales and go back for more. So kind of like here, the shadow on the side of the bales. And once I get used to that, I will be able to position that top bale absolutely where I want it. Okay, one more. And then hopefully we have the horsepower to haul this thing out of here. Stab. I am considering, once we get the field in front of us, I may chop down part of that hedge so that we have direct access to this field from the farm. We don't have to drive on the road. That should be good enough. Let's hitch that on the back. Not exactly straight, but I don't think I've got anything overhanging the edge of the trailer. So yeah, possibly over in that corner we'll knock down part of the hedge. Maybe take out a couple of those trees as well. Then we can drive straight into this field. We don't have to come in over here. $154,000 litres, we're hauling it up the hill with narrow wheels without too much of an issue. And you just got in my way, didn't you? Thank you. Ooh, precarious tippage. Maybe we should do this from the cab. Uh, 154,000 litres of straw, and this tractor is really not struggling. Ooh, braking, however, yeah, kind of interesting. How much are grass bales? So that is 11,000 litres, 100 kilos. They got lighter. That's 1.3 tons. Possibly. Anyway, let's, as I said, we'll drop this over here in the straw. Dude, the straw point. Oh, pull forward a little bit more and very, very carefully. See if I can get this in there. I'm not sure this is going to work too well. Okay. I don't think I should have straightened up there. Okay, let's try this again. Very slightly at an angle. As we get there, I want it more at an angle. Might have stacked it a bit high too. Not going to work. Okay. Let's do it the other way. Bale things off, and yeah, that.